Welcome. My name is Peter Strong, and I'm a professional online therapist specializing in therapy over Skype. I offer Skype therapy for the treatment of anxiety and depression, and for work with addiction recovery. And also, I work a great deal with agoraphobia and other anxiety disorders that benefit from online therapy. So if you're considering online therapy, then it's very important that you understand that you need to use Skype or other video platform like FaceTime or Zoom so that you can see each other. This is really important. When you can see each other in real time, then there's really no difference in the effectiveness of online Skype therapy compared to meeting a therapist in person. It's not necessary to be in the same room, but it is very necessary that you can see each other. That improves the communication of your therapy sessions, and that will basically make your experience much more effective in getting the help that you need to overcome your anxiety or depression. So if you're interested in Skype therapy with me, then do please go to my website and learn more about the Skype therapy service that I offer. All you need for Skype therapy is a good internet connection and a quiet place to conduct your sessions, and then you can start Skype therapy with me. Most people really enjoy the convenience offered by being able to have therapy sessions at home rather than traveling to a therapist's office. In the case of agoraphobia and driving anxiety and many other anxiety disorders, it's really essential that you can work online with a therapist. Lots of people also like the greater privacy offered by online therapy. It means that you don't have to go to an office and wait in a waiting room with other people. It's much less intimidating as well. So this greater sense of anonymity is another feature that many people really like. And this can be very important if you're dealing with depression or addiction. People often are embarrassed and they don't want to just talk about their condition to a total stranger. So being able to talk to a therapist like myself online often overcomes that barrier. My objective has always been to make psychotherapy much more available, and that's why I offer online therapy via Skype. Also, I specialize in mindfulness therapy, which is quite a unique approach that is not readily available. So many people come to me for help because they specifically have expressed an interest in mindfulness therapy and how to apply mindfulness and other aspects of Buddhist psychotherapy in order to work with their emotions. Many people are really interested in mindfulness, and they're looking for a way of working with their mind without having to use medications or without using a treatment-based approach. In mindfulness therapy, we don't see anxiety and depression as illnesses or even as disorders. we see them basically as simply a series of habits that have become established and conditioned, and that we are not aware of, that our mental health is effectively sabotaged by these unconscious reactive habits. Habits can be changed when you bring conscious awareness to them and you start to work with them with mindfulness. And this is what people find who work with me. Often they have been on medications and had their anxiety disorder diagnosed and labelled as such. But that sort of treatment approach just doesn't really seem to work. Things change dramatically when you start to look at your anxiety and depression in this way, as a series of habits that are currently out of your control. But once you start to develop mindfulness of these habits, you bring them into the sphere of control, and you can start to help change those habits. So that's one of the features of mindfulness therapy. We also recognize that underneath those habits is what we typically call your true self, your true identity, which is not the contents of your mind. It's not those habits. It's not your thoughts. It's not your beliefs. It's not your emotions. Your true self is not the content of your mind. It is actually the conscious awareness itself that is able to be aware of any content that arises in the mind. So that conscious awareness is not made of thoughts or emotions. It is made of pure conscious awareness itself. And that is referred to as your true self in the system that I have developed and that I teach. So, one of the characteristics of your true self that's worth pointing out here is that your true self does not suffer. Your true self actually is that part of your being that naturally moves towards joy and well-being and health. Its natural state is one of non-suffering, of happiness in all its different forms. This is primarily because it is not limited by conditioning. So habits are conditioned reactions, and they limit your ability to live fully and to enjoy life completely, because they narrow your perception and they also disconnect you from reality, from experience. They have this effect of insulating you from life, and that disconnection is associated with suffering and unhappiness. Mindfulness is about learning how to reconnect with every moment of your living experience, internally and externally. And this essentially brings us alive. It creates a sense of tremendous energy and well-being. The more that we connect with our experiences, the happier we become. It's the disconnection from experience, including painful emotions. It's the disconnection that's the problem that leads to suffering. So, there's lots to learn about mindfulness therapy, and I'll be happy to answer any questions you have. If you'd like to go ahead and schedule a Skype therapy session with me, then simply go to my contact page and send me an email. Tell me about yourself and what you've tried so far, and also what times and days work for you, and then we can start looking at scheduling some of these Skype therapy sessions, and I will help you overcome your anxiety or depression or other form of emotional suffering using the techniques of mindfulness therapy. Thank you.